Mama Kosi gave Dimma a resounding slap immediately and said, "Eh? What did you just call me? So you do not know your mother? Look, I can help you locate the grave your useless and weak mother is lying in, since you're having problems remembering who your own mother is." Once upon a time, in the village of Akoke, there lived a very brave hunter named Chiki. Every time he ventured into the dense whispering forests, he returned with a bounty that he sold to make lots of money. Chiki was one of the best hunters in town who commanded enough wealth and respect in his community. He had a wife, Uchi, who was very loving and kind. After 6 years of an unfruitful marriage, God finally blessed them with a bouncing baby girl whom they called Chidimma. They raised Dimma in the fear of God. They also taught her how to be very hardworking and diligent. They were one big happy family. However, one day, a terrible sickness struck Uche. Chike tried his best to find a healer for his wife, but the sickness was a very strange one to them, and they couldn't find a cure for it. After everything was tried to no avail, Uche gave up the ghost. This was very heartbreaking for Chike and their 7-year-old daughter, Dimma. They cried day and night, wishing and hoping that Uche would come back to life. The air was thick with sorrow as the family gathered around the small dimly lit room, their faces etched with grief and eyes red from endless tears. Uche's absence left a void that seemed impossible to fill, each corner of the house echoing with memories of her laughter and warmth. Friends and relatives came to offer their condolences, but nothing could ease the heartache that gripped Chike and Dimma. They kept longing for a miracle to bring their beloved Uche back. Weeks turned into months, and life became difficult for Chike and his daughter. Chike was a very busy man who always went out every day to hunt, and so he was struggling to take proper care of Dimma. One day, in her bid to fix dinner for herself, Dimma burnt her hand whilst at it. This made Chike so sad. He wrote his sister in the city to complain about this situation that is causing him sleepless nights. His sister advised that he find a maid or nanny for Dimma, someone that would do house chores, cook, and also take care of the little girl. Chike did not like the idea of a nanny. He had heard so many evil stories of how nannies mistreat their wards and do all manner of evil to them. But at this point, I seem to be out of options, Chike thought to himself. On his way to hunt one day, he met one of his customers, Mama Kosi, a woman that owned a small restaurant in the village that always bought meat from him. The woman called out to him. They greeted and started up some small talks while strolling down to the market. As they conversed, Mama Kosi offered her condolences to Chike. "Oga Chike, I am so sorry for your loss. I will not pretend to know how you truly feel, but trust me when I say you do not deserve this pain. You are a good man, a very kind man, and I do not know why nature had to be so cruel. Chai, I am deeply sorry. Please, if there is any way I can help, kindly let me know. I will not hesitate to come through for you," Mama Kosi said, touching Chike's arm lightly. Chike felt touched and replied, "Mama Kosi, I appreciate your concern. Since you asked, I would please like for you to help me get a nanny or someone that can help take care of my daughter. I am not always around, and Dimma is having a really hard time staying alone, Chike lamented. Oh wow, that is true. She is still too young to stay on her own. How old is she again? Mama Kosi asked. She's only 7, Chike replied. Oh dear, that's around the same age as my daughter, Kosi. She is 9. Anyway, I will keep an eye out and give you feedback later this evening. Chike thanked her and hurriedly went about his business, hopeful that something positive would come out from Mama Kosi's search. Later that evening, he went to meet Mama Kosi in her shop for a feedback. She welcomed him warmly and gave him a cup of palm wine to cool off. Then she sat down beside him and after asking about his day said, Oga Chiki, I asked a few of my friends and customers and they all said their daughters will not be interested in such role. You know girls of nowadays, they do not like hard work. So, after giving it a long thought, I decided that I will do the job. I will help you. Chiki was surprised. He didn't believe what he just heard. You say? How do you intend to do that, Mama Kosi? You own a business and you are barely free, Chike said. This is true, Oga Chike, but what you do not know is that I have hired hands that can take care of my business even if I don't come to work for 7 days. So do not worry about that. I would come around in the morning, do some chores and cook for Dimma. Then in the afternoon, I will leave and go to the shop to supervise everything. I hope this is fine by you, sir, Mama Kosi said. Chiki was so happy. What manner of kindness is this? He thought to himself. Wow, Mama Kosi, you must be heaven sent because your kindness has really moved me. Thank you so much, Chike said, beaming with smiles. He went home with joy that day, many thoughts flying in and out of his head, but he shut them all out and decided to watch how things will unfold. That night, he told Dimma about his arrangements with Mama Kosi for the next day, and he didn't get a very happy response from her. Why is your face like that, Dimma? Are you not happy? Are you not happy I found someone to stay with you and make sure you are okay? What's wrong, my dear? He inquired. Papa, I don't think I like this idea. Oh. We don't even know her. Besides, what is her reason for offering such kind gestures towards you? Dimma asked her father. Well, she is one of my customers, so technically I know her. But I understand your fears, my daughter. Please let us give her a chance and then we will conclude after tomorrow, alright? Chike explained calmly. They both agreed to give Mama Kosi a chance and retired for the night. The next morning, Mama Kosi came early in the morning and started doing chores around the house, even before Dimma woke up. Chike was very amazed at this, and by the time Dimma woke up, breakfast was ready and they all ate together a very delicious, mouth-watering moi moi and eggs. Mama Kosi even packed some more food for Chiki to take to work. Mama Kosi was extra sweet and nice to Dimma that day, and this made the poor child start to like her. Mama Kosi's act of kindness continued for a while, and Chiki decided to engage her in a more personal conversation to get to know her better. As a way of saying thank you for all your kindness, can I take you out this evening, Bikonne? Chiki asked. Okay, fine, Mama Kosi answered, smiling. During their hangout, Chiki asked her about her husband, and she answered that he mistreated her and her daughter greatly and treated them like trash until she decided she had had enough and moved out to start a new life with her daughter. Chiki sympathized with her, telling her how much he loved her resourcefulness and hard work. He went further to propose marriage to her, telling her how he had watched her take care of Dimma and his household during these past few months. Mama Kosi did not hesitate in accepting his marriage proposal with joy and fulfillment. What? What did you just say, Papa? You are going to marry who? Dimma asked her dad in disbelief. She did not like the idea of anybody replacing her mother, and she rebelled strongly against this. Her father, however, assured her that nobody could and would replace her mother. He said that in fact, he could not bring himself to love any other person. He said that he was only marrying Mama Kosi so that Dimma would have a mother figure in her life. After much persuasion, Dimma agreed. Soon, the marriage rites were completed and Mama Kosi moved in with her daughter Kosi permanently. It happened that Kosi and Dimma were of the same age bracket and so were made to share a room together so they could bond as siblings. But reverse was the case. Kosi would always look for reasons to bully Dimma, but Dimma was a smart kid who did not allow anybody to come to her father's house and bully her. The first incident was when Kosi commanded her to wash the toilet after her. Now, why would I do that? Why can't you wash the toilet you used by yourself? Or is your hand broken? Dimma replied Kosi, who stood with an open mouth saying that Dimma doesn't have respect. Their parents came to their room to find out what the problem was. And after listening to them, Chiki called Mama Kosi to his room to warn her sternly not to allow her daughter bully his daughter in his own house. Mama Kosi quickly apologized and promised that it wouldn't happen again. But this was in fact not the case. 2 years later, and fights kept happening between Kosi and Dimma, and Chiki was getting really impatient and pissed off about all that. If you cannot handle that little brat of a daughter, then I will do it. I have had enough of her ill attitude towards my daughter. She is always looking for new ways to bully Dimma and cause troubles. I do not like it. Period. Chiki thundered one night. Later that night, Mama Kosi could not sleep. She kept pondering on the unkind words Chiki spoke to her that night. This my new husband does not regard me. Oh. He doesn't even love me nor my daughter. He obviously wants me around just because he needs a mother figure for his daughter. He hasn't even touched me since we got married. If things continue this way, I and my daughter would always come second. Hell, he might even wake up one day and tell us to pack out. Mbano, Tufiakwa. That cannot happen. I will not let that happen. Mama Kosi stayed up all night thinking to herself. The next afternoon, something horrible happened. Someone rushed to their home, crying and screaming on top of his voice. When asked what the matter was, he recounted that he saw a body lying in the forest as he went hunting. And on going closer, he saw that it was Chiki the great hunter. Dimma's world fell apart. She knew her own was over. She was in shock for 24 hours and couldn't even bring herself to cry. However, she managed to kneel down that night and with a broken heart, she said some prayers. Father Lord, the Father of the fatherless, the Mother of orphans, I trust you to take care of your own. I know you would never leave nor forsake me. I know you see and know everything. So I ask that whoever has a hand in my papa's death would never know joy and peace. When they think they have what they always wished for, may it turn around to cause them severe pain and misery. Let what they have done to my papa come back to haunt them 1,000-fold. Amen. Mama Kosi and her daughter, on the other hand, put up a great movie for everyone to watch. They wailed and wailed, throwing themselves on the floor. Moreover, after the burial rites of Chiki was performed, Mama Kosi did not waste any time in taking charge of all Chiki's wealth and properties and let all hell loose on Dimma. She turned Dimma to her new housemaid. She was commanded and mistreated by Mama Kosi and her daughter and was barely given any food to eat. One day, Mama Kosi sent Dimma to the market and gave her some money and a list of items. Dimma was washing a pile of dishes that day, and so she kept the money beside her as she hurriedly finished the dishes so that she would go to the market. However, on coming back to the same place she kept the money, she couldn't find it again. Her heart sank right into her mouth. What is the meaning of this one now? Is this a prank or what? Dimma thought out aloud. After a futile search, she went to the room to see Kosi eating a store-bought suya with some change lying on the mattress. So Dimma confronted her. Kosi, why did you take the money mommy gave me to go to the market now? Please give it back. I do not want problems. I don't understand. Do I look like you're safe or a thief? How dare you accuse me of taking your money? Oya now, where is your proof? You better provide a proof now or I will slap back senses into your head. Kosi wasted no time in snapping back. Their mother immediately rushed into the scene to find out what was going on. And to Dimma's greatest surprise, she sided Kosi. Look, Dimma or whatever you call yourself, if you do not provide that money this instant, you will regret ever knowing me, Mama Kosi said. But mother, I just told you that Kosi took it and has refused to give it back. Mama Kosi gave Dimma a resounding slap immediately and said, Eh? What did you just call me? So you do not know your mother? Look, I can help you locate the grave your useless and weak mother is lying in, since you're having problems remembering who your own mother is. I will do you the favor of giving you the same amount I gave you before. But just know that it is the money for your feeding for the next 1 week. Come on, Zusupueba at this instant before I slap you again, foolish girl. Hot tears rolled down Dimma's eyes as she took the money and rushed out. Later that night, she cried and cried, calling on her mother and father to come and take her with them so that the pain she is feeling will stop. Many years later, and the girls were all grown young maidens, Dimma was an epitome of beauty. Her beauty radiated gloriously and she stood out among all the other maidens in the village. In no time, many rich suitors started coming for her hand in marriage, and Mama Kosi kept turning them down, saying that she was already engaged to someone else. This always broke Dimma's heart, but she kept hoping and praying that one day her husband will marry her off and make her the happiest human on earth, and even her stepmother cannot stop this. Of course, Mama Kosi and her daughter envied her so much and were very unhappy that no rich man was coming for Kosi's hand in marriage. So, they plotted to quickly find a poor man and marry Dimma off so that every other rich man coming would settle for Kosi instead. There was a known drummer in the village that only came to Akuke village a year ago. He was known for always begging for money using his drumming abilities, and so many people called him lazy for not doing a proper work meant for men and earning money for himself. Mama Kosi and her daughter plotted to marry Dimma off to this drummer boy. One day, they invited the drummer to their home and Mama Kosi began. "What is that your name again, my son?" "My name is Obinama," he replied, wondering why he was being summoned. "It's alright. Obinna, I have caught you eyeing my daughter, Dimma, on few occasions, and I want to know what your true intentions are. Are you looking for a wife or what?" Mama Kosi questioned Obinna. "Of course, ma. I would love to marry her. Dimma is every man's dream, but I'm afraid I do not even have enough money to pay for her bride price." Mama Kosi encouraged Obinna not to worry about bride price, that he doesn't have to pay to marry Dimma. "Just bring your people and we'll make it official. Dimma will be yours for good," Mama Kosi said. Obinna the drummer was indeed very shocked about this. What kind of mother would marry her daughter off without a bride price? He thought to himself. Nonetheless, he accepted and called two of his uncles to accompany him to marry Dimma. And after their marriage, a whole new chapter was unveiled for Dimma. What was Dimma's fate in getting married to a poor man? Did she go from frying pan to fire? Did Mama Kosi's plans work? Was she able to marry Kosi off to a rich man? If you would like to find out all the juicy details, simply comment part 2 in the comments and share this video, and I will do well to bring the part 2 your way soonest. Bye.